Welcome to
No Fucking Filter.
It'll be fun.
This episode is sponsored by Together We Co.
Together We Co. is a business management and virtual assistant service for photographers started by photographers.
They offer monthly subscriptions and standalone services including post-production, blogging, admin, image curation, website updates, and so much more.
We are happy to offer our listeners 20% off your first service by entering code 20%.
You can follow them on Instagram at togetherwe_co, and you can visit their website at www.togetherweco.com and enter code 20%.
Just to confirm, that's 20%?
20%, Lisa.
Sign me up.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Are you so excited?
I'm so excited.
We're back.
We are back. It's been a hot minute.
It has, and this is what I needed.
I feel like I've lived 17 lives since we last recorded an episode.
Which is why this episode is quite literally a catch up with us.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
Me too. We have, if you guys are just listening, you can't see, but we have a beautiful new addition, which is our Tequila Vida.
Yes, you guys need to go check them out. They're incredible. They're a woman-run company here in Calgary. If you like tequila, this is your sign.
They have a margarita and a paloma. Beautiful branding. And they have generously been sponsoring our pods, and we're so happy.
Yeah, we're so grateful.
Yeah.
Okay.
Should we crack these babies?
Yeah.
I need a drink.
I do too. Let's get into it. Oh yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers. Oh, amazing.
So you can get them at most liquor stores, but if you check out their Instagram, which is TQLA Vida, you can find out where they are. Let's just get right into it. Since the last time we spoke,
a lot has happened.
You got married.
Yep.
I've
gone to a bachelorette party.
To a bachelorette in Nashville.
Yes, so fun.
What else? Shot a bunch of weddings.
We're in the midst of wedding season.
Yeah.
You have also been shooting a bunch of weddings and been having the kids full time. Oh yeah, you went to the Yukon.
I turned another year older.
Yes, you did.
I've had the kids for like a million days in a row.
Yeah.
Just trying to keep everyone busy. So yeah, life is just zooming along.
It is zooming along, which is why we haven't really been able to talk to you guys or film much. So
yeah, we initially were like, we will have so many done and we'll keep posting them, but it's a lot.
We were really, really positive. Like we were, what's the word? We were go-getters. Naive. Yeah. Yes, we were naive a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's okay. We're back.
To all our fellow wedding vendors, we see you. We're here with you in the trenches, and we will all get through this.
One day at a time.
Yeah.
One weekend at a time.
Okay, well, let's do a quick recap of the wedding.
Yeah, okay. It was great, and we are going... We're going to have a full-on dedicated episode to unpacking the entire wedding. Luke and I are going to come on and spill all the tea. We're going to talk about things that we loved, things that we would have done differently.
Yeah.
And honestly, there are quite a few things. I feel like this, there's a couple of things that happen, and I've talked to one of my past brides about this. She basically, immediately after the wedding, she had this, like, wedding depression. It was like, what's the next thing that I'm going to be doing or, like, planning or, like, and it...
Because it takes over your life
so
much, right? You kind of go through, like, a withdrawal after.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So she's going through that right now, and I recently ran into her, and she was like, oh, has it hit you yet? Like, have you experienced the the wedding downs or whatever.
But you haven't really had any time because you went directly from wedding into a honeymoon and then straight into wedding season.
That's exactly what I told her. I was like, no, I'm feeling great.
Maybe it never will.
It never hit me because it'll hit me in the winter when I'm just like, oh my gosh, it all happened so fast. But right now we're chilling. We're good. We're into busy season.
Yeah.
But that's about the recap
I had
I'll give
fabulous time at your wedding.
you. Yeah. Did you?
Yeah, I did.
Good.
It was amazing.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Tell us about having the kids home for the summer.
Yeah. Shout out to all my fellow parents out there that are trying to work and have your kids at home.
Yeah.
It's like they know the second I open my laptop, they're like, Mom, I need a drink. Mom, I'm hungry. So I'm either spending like $100 a day to entertain them or letting them be on their screens for hours or just not doing any work. So I've been getting up really early and trying to get in a bit of a shift before they wake up.
Well, and you've been staying steady with your workouts and everything, which is amazing.
Yeah.
Which, like, even earlier you have to wake up to, like, find the time for that.
I'm a much better parent if I can go for a walk or get a workout in.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, struggle's real. It's the same every summer, but yeah.
How many
challenge.
weddings have you shot so far since coming, like, let's just say the start point is after the wedding?
10 maybe?
Yeah, whoa.
Yeah. 8 or 10.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And your editing queue, how's that looking?
Like
Probably
if there was a dumpster that was on fire, that would be what my editing queue is.
Touchy subject, sorry. Sorry to talk.
Yeah, a
talk
little
about it.
reminder on editing times. What are yours? What's your turnaround time in your contract?
So it depends, but it's roughly 30 to 90 days.
Okay.
So 1 to 2 or 1 to 3 months.
Yeah.
Which is pretty average.
Yeah.
What's yours?
10 to 12 weeks.
Okay. So very similar.
I usually try to, I mean, it just depends what I can do, but for the most part, I'm on time right now, but it's hard. It's like this internal guilt,
Yeah.
I feel. And then it doesn't help when people are like, send a little email to be like, hey, we're so excited to see our photos. And I'm like,
Honestly,
I know they're coming.
It is so weird. Let's just talk about that for a second because that's just like the ultimate compliment to us, right? The fact that they're so eager to see their photos, wanting to check in. But it's weird when we see that, all of a sudden, this type of pressure and like weird feeling, anxiety hits our nervous system.
Yeah.
And we almost shut down. Like, it's like, it's insane. So, like, if you're a client out there, just know we understand you wanting your photos and everything. It just literally puts us into a spiral. So don't ever reach out to us.
Yeah, like we're not just sitting around holding them back from you. We promise we want to get them finished just as badly as you want to see them. But the struggle is real right now. And most of us are like one-man shows.
Yeah.
You don't have an assistant or anything. I don't have one. So every single email, every single DM, social media post, everything is you and I just doing it on our own.
Exactly. Which is, the case in most scenarios for people, right? Overall, how are you feeling? How are you doing physically, emotionally, mentally?
Physically, every year that I get older is much harder to shoot weddings. I don't think people realize like what a physical toll carrying your camera gear for 10 hours on your back in like the hot sun takes on you. But it has been a very hot summer. I've had some really hot weddings, so have you. And by the next day, I am just a corpse. Like we don't eat, we don't drink, we don't pee. We're on our feet all day. It's a lot.
If it's a hot day, it's actually 10 times harder on our bodies, I feel like. And a lot of people will come up and say, oh, like, the pressure, the like, you know, it's stressful probably being a wedding photographer. And I'm like, bro, there's no stress. I'm here, I'm capturing a day. It's beautiful. It's unfolding. what it is the strain on your body.
Yeah.
Like, that's the biggest thing I think is like the weight of our backpacks, the weight of our straps and our cameras. And like, I saw this TikTok recently where it was a girl comes out and it's photographers in 2006, and it's like one little camera body around, and then she comes out again and it's like 2 straps and then a film camera in the like we're carrying
Polaroid,
3 like it's insane. So times have changed.
Sure. I just got a massage last week, and
Did you?
In your mind, you're like, oh, it's going to be so relaxing. I was like trying not to cry the whole time because I could feel every knot in my back.
Oh my God.
She was like, this is crazy. Like, your entire back is like a muscle spasm. I was like, I know.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Kate,
You should go get one if you haven't
I
yet.
should, but they're not enjoyable. They're very painful because they're
Yeah. So anyway, every year, I'm in my late 30s.
How many massages would you suggest people actually do?
Every day.
What?
I don't know. I need to have a personal masseuse.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah. Physically, it takes a toll. I would say, I don't know about you, but just like mentally, a big wedding day takes a toll too. If there's a big wedding party, we're like herding cats the whole day,
true.
trying to keep everyone on track. You kind of have to be like on because people are watching you and you're like, hi, how are you guys doing? And by the end of the day, I'm just like, ugh, I need to be alone in my room.
Yeah, that's a huge point. We're constantly turned on, and the social hashtag constantly turned on. Hey, should we rename the podcast? That'd be sick. But yeah, like for introverts, like I just don't even know. Like, I kind of am curious how many people are actually like more introverted.
I think a lot of photographers are. I am for sure. I'm an introvert.
Extroverted.
I know you are. I can be extroverted for a day.
Yeah, there's introvert, extroverts.
But then I need like 5 days to build it back up.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah.
And by the end of the day, you've just been so like turned on.
Yeah.
But talking and just being your best self, and it's like it is exhausting.
Your cup's empty.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Good point.
Well, I want to hear about Nashville.
Oh.
That's where she went on her bachelorette. You guys have heard us bring up McKenna's name so many times. McKenna's a pod.
Oh my gosh. And McKenna gets married so soon. Yeah. So we'll definitely have to have another update.
We'll bring her on.
I think
she should come on.
Yeah, we 100%
Anyway,
should.
McKenna is the life of the party, and you just went to her party. So
I did.
How did you manage?
It did not let down. It was a party and a half. I barely survived. I made it out of there crawling. It was.
You broke a toe.
It is bizarre. Toe feels okay, except for pointing it.
It's not a bachelorette until you break a toe.
But I definitely, on the honky tonk bus, I was just smashing my foot down like to the good country. I was stomping so hard. I almost didn't make it. Well, I made it out for a little while the third day, but I had to go home early because like my foot inside that cowboy boot was like throbbing. It was bruised underneath. Like I did some damage.
Yeah.
But it was overall like such a good weekend. We had a song that kind of commemorated the weekend. Do you want to know what it was?
Yeah.
It's the one that's like, put some miles on it.
I love that song.
Anyway, anytime it comes on now, all we can think about
takes you straight back.
Oh yeah, 100%. Just like mine had that.
Rich baby daddy.
Hands on your knees. Hands on your knees. Different vibe, for sure. But yeah, Nashville
it looked
was
really
cool.
fun. I had so much FOMO. I almost just booked my own flight and showed up.
You should have. The only thing I feel like was missing, which we obviously chose not to do big dinners for a reason, because there was 16 of us,
Yeah,
which
that's
is
wild.
You know, it would be super hard logistically, so we just like ordered meals and stuff. But Nashville has some really awesome barbecue and stuff, so that's one thing that I think I have to go back for.
You know what I think we have to do? Take the pod to Nashville.
Take the pod to Nashville.
We're doing it. I'm
Yeah, we have to do
manifesting
it.
this.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Manifestation.
Yeah.
We would love to, we've been talking about this, is hosting a little manifestation / vision board night. I actually can't wait for that. And I think planning and like putting your goals on paper.
We're going to book a studio and get all the supplies and then sell some tickets just to cover the cost of some drinks and supplies. And we'd love for any of you that are listening that want to come to join us. So
yeah, DM us if you're listening and hearing this and you're interested.
We'll get our lives together and make some kind of a plan.
We'll start compiling a list of people who want to come. But I think it's so important to put your goals and things down. And
yeah, we also had a little meeting the other day because we haven't caught up in a while, and we wrote some things down that we want to achieve on the pod. Should we share a few, put them out into the world?
Yeah, let's do it. But now Nashville will have to be a part of that. We'll have to add that to the list.
Yeah.
You go ahead and share some.
Well, we've alluded to this before, but we really want to be at New York Bridal Fashion Week. We feel like we need to be there. It needs us.
Yeah.
So if you're a dress store or a brand, bring us along.
Yeah, we'd love to just capture so much content and
give our thoughts on all the latest collections.
That would be so fun. That is going to happen. We're putting it out there in the world, guys.
Yeah.
So expect us at New York Fashion Week. Well, the bridal.
Yeah. Do you remember the other one?
No.
I knew you didn't.
So
I saw like a blank look in your eye.
Go ahead and share them, Lise.
Okay, so how it works, I don't know if you guys listening know this, but in order to get ads from our platform with the pod, it's a numbers game. So we have to have 1,000 downloads in 2 weeks, and then the platform will give us some ad money and we can have a little more like freedom with ads. So that's our goal by the end of the year, is to have 1,000 downloads in 2 weeks, and then we get to that next level. So if you guys are just listening and you haven't downloaded it or subscribed, we would be so thankful.
Right now. Pause this episode right now and you go in here and you click the download button, because just listening to us doesn't actually quite support us. So we would love to receive all those downloads.
And our goal with having sponsors and ads is that then we can pay for an editor and hopefully we can work up to recording an episode every week.
Yeah, that would be awesome. And I think everyone wants to hear us more often. So
it's been kind of fun being out in the wedding world right now. The wedding that I worked last weekend, I came in and introduced myself to the makeup artist, and she was like, "Oh, I know, I'm a fan of the pod." And then just someone I didn't know that was a guest at the wedding came up, was like, "Are you the podcast girl?" So it's kind of fun when people are like listeners and they know us now.
I know, that is so cool. The wedding I just shot the same day that happened to you, the bride's sister was like, "I know who you are." Like, I am such a big fan of the pod. It's so surreal. It's kind of cool. And so I was interested. I was like, "Oh, like, are you in the wedding industry, or, you know, are you getting married, yada yada?" And she's like, "No, it's just, I love listening to you guys. I feel like there's things that I can relate on different levels, and you guys are just so funny, relatable. So I feel like this is good. Like, anyone could."
Yeah, I think originally we thought it would all be photographers and wedding vendors, but we're so happy that I would say it's like 50-50 people that are vendors and then just people that are listening. So
it's really cool.
Yeah. Thank you for your support, guys.
Thank you for all the support.
Yeah. What else do we have to catch up on? You recently just helped your mom move, so that was a lot for you. Yeah.
This is a whole other story. Like,
I mean, we don't need to get into it.
We are not going to get into it, but
basically life does not stop during wedding season. It just keeps rolling along.
Oh, yeah.
And we have to
Roll with the punches.
keep going. Yeah.
That is something that's like you can't plan for, right? Like you can not moving in general, but just, you know, you're in your height of busy season, anything could go wrong.
Yeah.
Anything. And just because life happens and life keeps going on and you have to like somehow jump over the hurdles and maneuver through and keep going. Like it's definitely set me back on my like editing time and like responses to emails and like everything, but we're catching up.
You're back.
I'm back.
Heads in the game. Actually, before we recorded this, we just edited all day.
Yeah,
we're making progress on that editing queue.
Great productive day.
Actually, speaking of things going wrong, we each had kind of a crazy travel work experience.
Yes, we did.
This summer. I feel like yours was crazier. You should go first.
No, you go first.
No, you go first.
Okay, I'll go first. So I had a couple that wanted me to come out to their farm, which was super cool opportunity. They lived in Grand Prairie, so first time out there. It's actually kind of a cool story because one of my oldest best friends lived out in Grand Prairie, still does, and I haven't seen her for like almost 10 years, and so we got to like rekindle things. So that was a kind of cool trip. It was like it worked for work and I got a personal gain out of it as well. But as we all know, WestJet was on some crazy things.
At the beginning,
happening.
when was that? June? Right after your wedding?
Yeah, mid-June.
There was that strike of the, it was like mechanics were on strike or something.
Yep. And right before it got super, super bad, it was the beginning of it. So I got out there fine. We did some amazing photos. It was all worth it. But coming home, it's actually crazy because it wasn't even really to do with like the strike itself and like us not even getting on the plane. We got on the plane. We were in the plane. It literally is only about an hour and a half flight from Calgary or Grand Prairie to Calgary. And we were in the air for like just over an hour. So it was like basically the whole flight of like getting there, but we just couldn't gain elevation. And I was just already like, I used to be an anxious flyer. Then I really got over it. I really like long flights. I'm like comfortable. But for some reason lately, like I've just had really bad experiences and I get on this flight, we're not gaining elevation. I can tell that we're like being dragged back and like we're almost like hitting a brake or something in the air. And then finally, after I feel that like 6 times, the guy comes on and is like, oh yeah, we have something wrong with there's something that comes out like at the front of the plane that helps us gain elevation. It's just not coming out, right?
That's
so
all you
it's
wanna
just
hear.
not, whatever. So then he's like, we're going to have to go back. So we circle back, we're flying over Grand Prairie like so many times, just circling it. And we're like, what is going on? Like, we're just in this plane forever. Finally, we land. He's like, the plane lights are going to turn off. We don't have any steering. Like, we're just going to get pulled in. Like, it was just one thing after another.
my
And it was
God.
like quite scary.
Yeah, that's
being
terrifying.
And then by the time I'm supposed to be home, like grabbing my bags, like we're still at the Grand Prairie airport. Shit's a mess. They have no other flights. It's such a small airport. So like there's nothing else that I can do. Basically my only option was to take 2 buses, which would be a 10-hour day on a bus, from Grand Prairie to Edmonton, and then have a layover like of an hour and a half just waiting for another bus. And these buses were so small, like, and it was just, I was like, okay, you know what? Here's the positive. I'm going to work on the bus. I'm going to edit while I'm on the bus. I have 10 hours now to like focus on work. Absolutely not. Like, it was like so bumpy
Like an
and
old
so
school
crazy.
Greyhound.
Like literally no room. Like I was squished. Like I couldn't even get anything out. I was exhausted too because I hadn't got to the hotel till like 1 a.m. and then I had to get on a bus at 6. So like,
Oh my God.
it
And didn't you
was
have like
insane.
an ex-con or something.
Yeah,
sitting
an
beside
ex-con.
you.
Yeah, he was really sweet, but he was an ex-con. He sat next to me. It was like a little sketchy at first, but it's fine.
Freshly was out of prison.
But I do want to say, like, luckily, I had 3 days prior to needing to be at a wedding. Could you imagine if I had a wedding the next day?
No.
There's no way.
No.
There is no way, and that is like, that's scary.
Yeah.
You know, you really trust in these airlines and like travel to be able to get to where you need to be on the designated time.
Yeah, I feel like that's just not a thing anymore.
No. Assume that something's going to
Now,
go wrong.
currently, well, there just a few days ago, there was this massive hailstorm in Calgary, and apparently any planes that were outside the airport got completely damaged and destroyed. So they're all grounded, and now, again, all these flights are being canceled.
Brutal.
Yeah.
But yeah, what about your travel experience?
Oh man, I had a wedding in the Shuswap that I've been so excited for. So I was leaving the day before and then was going to check into my hotel, maybe take myself for a nice dinner, relax, and then have my wedding the next day. So just outside of Revelstoke, traffic just ground to a halt, and I saw this smoke in front of me. I was like, what the heck? And it was a semi that was on fire on the highway. And so everyone was just stopped, and people were kind of walking up. There was some police at the front, like blocking it off, and everyone was kind of walking up to talk to them. So I strolled along, and the cop was like, oh, I'm sorry, this like truck caught on fire, and it seems like it started a wildfire. So we're just stopped here. They have to put out the wildfire, and this truck's carrying like toxic chemicals, so they can't fight the fire. It just has to burn. So I don't know, maybe like an hour. And everyone was like, okay. 5 hours later.
5 hours.
5 hours.
On
the side of the
that
highway.
was a hot day.
Yeah, it was like 36 or 38 degrees. People didn't want to start their car to cool down because they didn't know how long we would be there. So people were literally like hiding under their car for shade. There was nowhere to go. It was crazy.
Insane.
Yeah, so I didn't get to my hotel until like midnight or 1 in the morning, and then had my wedding the next day.
So yeah, like you're planning to have like a relaxing evening, getting prepped for this wedding, and that turns out to...
Yeah. And then I shot the wedding, which was amazing, but it was a really long day. It was 40 degrees. It was super hot. And by the time I got back to the hotel, I was just like done and couldn't wait to go up to my room. And as I was going to the elevator, I noticed there was a homeless man kind of like loitering around the lobby, and when I got in the elevator, he followed me in, and I was like, oh hell no.
What the hell?
I opened the door, thankfully, and was able to get off because he had every intention of like following me up to wherever I was going. So I went to the front desk and was like, oh, sorry, but this guy just tried to follow me. He's right over there. And they were like, oh, I know, we brought him in to like give him a drink of water, and now he just won't leave, and he's like harassing everyone. So they were like, we'll remove him, but if you can just hang out here for a sec, we'll move him out of the lobby. So as they were moving, like dragging him out of the lobby, he was so mad, he pulled the fire alarm. So everything, sprinklers, fire alarms started going off. And then the entire hotel had to be evacuated, and we all had to wait outside for them to like, the fire department to come and then to clear it again. So it was like midnight or something. I'm standing outside with all my gear from the day. Just so annoyed.
Oh my gosh, that is so brutal.
It was a day.
No kidding.
For sure.
A full 72 hours of just misery almost.
So, yeah, I think just always allow extra time if you're traveling to shoot a wedding.
I think you just need to, like, in this industry, assume the worst.
I was just telling you earlier, we have a mutual photographer friend that had a wedding in Whistler last weekend, and they canceled her flight because of the hail damage, but they canceled it like while she was getting to the airport, and there was 0 options except for her to drive from here to Whistler for the wedding. And she like ran out of gas along the way. Like she literally drove all night to get to this wedding. So
that's insane.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Despite the travel woes, I don't know about you, but I've been like obsessed with all my couples.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been a really good year so far.
It's been so good.
I am like, I'm sending out all these sneak peeks, but like I really can't wait to like just dive in And this is kind of why our like turnaround times are the way they are. It's because we actually don't get to sit down very much like during like 2 months of the year. It's like it's just a lot of shooting.
Yeah.
Because we have to maximize the summer.
And when we're shooting like, you know, 1 or 2 weddings a week plus smaller stuff.
Yeah, it all adds
There's
up.
no way we can edit all that in 1 week, so it just starts stacking up.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
What's your favorite thing that's happened this year so far?
I have so many. Honestly, every wedding I've finished and just felt like this is so lame. I felt like my heart is like so full. Just being in a room with like such wonderful couples and their cute friends and family. Like I haven't had a negative experience yet. It's been such a good season.
It has. I
Yeah.
have to agree.
What about you?
We've just gotten really lucky with weather maybe too. And like I think about it, like it'll start storming, but it'll just like make the most epic sunsets
that's
after
true.
or rainbows after. And like just timing wise has really worked out this year. It's weird. Yeah. I don't know. I'm really grateful for all these awesome couples so far.
Yeah, me too. I feel that way every year, but it almost seems like the more I've gotten a lot more intentional with who I'm taking on and really getting to know them ahead of time. And then by the time it's their wedding, I just feel so much more connected to them, like I'm a part of it. Like the wedding I was at last weekend, we actually got to shoot their proposal, and you were booked, so you couldn't do video for them, but they were just so sweet, and being able to be there for their proposal and then do their engagement photos and then shoot their wedding, I felt like I was there like as their friend, and they gave me the cutest like shout out in their speech, and I don't know.
That's so nice.
Yeah.
It's just, it is really, really nice.
Yeah.
When you get along with your couple.
It kind of is what like keeps us going when it's so busy. It's like, oh yeah, this is why we do it.
You know, I will say I did associate shoot for someone recently, and you know, it's so bizarre showing up and not knowing the couple and like not having that connection. And there are businesses that they've never met their couples, they just show up kind of thing. And I think it makes my day harder and work harder. And so like that's not for everyone.
Yeah.
Definitely not for me. Like, and I think you and I are the same. We're just like, we love to connect.
Yeah, we're in it for the people.
Yeah. It is the connection, really, right? And it's just like showing up and like at any job. If you don't like the people, that really, you're not going to have a great work day.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Well, this has been a really nice catch up.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad we're getting back into it.
Me too.
I mean, we took just a couple weeks off.
I know, we never really left it, guys.
No.
We promise. We have a whole list of episodes we want to record, and we have some exciting guests still coming up.
Yeah,
We're
we do.
recording an exciting one with some guests in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
And you guys have heard our ads. We have, like we mentioned, Tequila Vita, and we're also working with this other company together, WeCo, who are 2 photographers, and they are so awesome. If you guys haven't checked them out, go check them out,
Yes.
especially during busy season.
Oh, 100%. They have lots of things and offerings that can really help you.
Yeah.
Until next time, I guess.
Until next time, I will be chained to my laptop.
How do we
Did
end
we
an
forget
episode?
how to say goodbye?
Wait, we
signing off.
we don't wanna leave.
Cheerio. Maybe one last cheers.
Yeah, one last cheers. Cheers.
I'm going to get off this pod and drink the rest of this. That's what I'm gonna do.
Same. Okay, bye.
Bye.
This episode is sponsored by Tequila Vita. Tequila Vita is a Calgary-based brand founded and led by women with a passion for authentic agave spirits, sourced in Mexico and crafted in Canada. Tequila Vita has 2 amazing cocktails in a can, a margarita with a smooth premium agave spirit that adds a subtle kick to every sip, and a paloma with a combination of agave spirit and fresh grapefruit that is lightly sweetened and tangy. Available in a 4-pack at 5 Vines, Willow Park, Olympia Liquor, to just name a few. To find more retailers, visit www.tqlavida.ca. Cheers!
Thank you so much for listening and following along. It would mean the world to us if you could subscribe and leave a rating and a review. 5 stars only.
We come out with new episodes every second Thursday. You can find us on Instagram and TikTok at the NFF Podcast and on YouTube at No Fucking Filter Podcast.
We would love to hear from you if you have any episode ideas or any crazy stories to tell.
We are always accepting new sponsorships, or if you'd like to be featured on the podcast, feel free to reach out. Bye.